everyone, and welcome back to PGP Motorsports Park for the 6th race of the spring season. We're here in 2025 with the 24 kartists lining up for the final race of this session. Earlier in the session, we had 2 qualifyings, 2 heats, and a last chance qualifying for the back 4 of the pack. And now, this is the moment for this 6th session, where all 24 will race for points, championship points, and for the season.
And kicking us off on the front row, we have David Boshtasvili and Chem Aiken lining up our front row. Behind them, I know Nick Armstrong's there, and along with Spencer. Very familiar names. They come on down the front straight, and let's get this race underway. Evenly gridded up. Slowly they come by. The green flag is waved. And the flag's waved and they're away. 2 by 2 they go. Nick trying to find a step on the inside, but David keeps that door shut. In they go into turn 1. Still side by side. Chem trying to get the better of David. David's really keeping his momentum through. Who can retain the lead? They're still side by side. Going into turn 3, but David gets a better exit. And now Chem is compromised from Spencer, who tries to get him in turn 3 and makes it work. Spencer taking second place. David slightly pulling ahead, keeping his lead. And that is... I can't tell who's in fourth, but Nick currently battling for fourth alongside Todd. It's Todd Hutchings who found his way up, battling for fourth place, going around the outside of Chem. It looks like Chem is struggling today after having a dominant performance, putting himself on the front row. Usually he's the one on the attack. Today it looks like Chem's on the defensive.
He's just falling back, hemorrhaging positions. He's going to need to be able to focus up and get that kart's momentum in place, figure out the weird handling of the kart that's costing him so much time here, and eventually try to drive back to the lead. Chem has a lot of work to do in the championship. Last I checked, I believe he was like 7th or 8th in the overall championship. And we actually have a surprise name of someone who hasn't won in this whole season sitting at the top of the championship with William Yee.
Williams winning the championship without winning a race. Now that's consistency. Speaking of consistency, we have David and Spencer spearheading the pack. Chem really defending against Todd and Nick, who really want to get by. And behind them in the hunt is Kirk. Kirk, another really strong name. His name's Kirk Strong, that's the joke. And he's trying to make a move. Coming up on Todd, it's going to get really dicey here. We got some really good races. The weather forecast said it would rain today. We got almost clear blue skies, very warm and sunny. I don't think it's raining at all. That weather forecast lied to me. We're going to have dry conditions throughout. We're going to have some good hard racing, and we're already seeing that on display.
Seeing it and hearing it as I'm hearing the tires complain as they rip these things around the corners as far as these slick tires can go. This is their strong suit, and they're able to turn around these corners like a go-kart.
As they round top of the world in the light bulb. David spearheading the race, still defending against Spencer. These two are no strangers to battling for the lead of the race. Both of them are also race winners around here. And it's going to be up to Spencer to see if he could find a hole in David's defense. But David is known for not letting people get by if he doesn't want them to get by. David checking behind him, making sure where Spencer's at, and he knows Spencer's hounding him. Chem definitely on the defensive as Todd sniffs the inside. Doesn't quite get the opening, but Todd knows sniffing through as Nick getting a little squibbly back there, trying to find any opening against Todd. And now Todd's both on the offensive and defensive, trying to keep up with Chem while defending against Nick. Very dicey stuff here.
And it looks like, I believe this is David and Davidson, right? No, David and Spencer.
Is David and Spencer.
David and Spencer. Spencer doing a great job to catch up to David after getting his early lead. And now that's got to be really stressing David out as Spencer's playing the mental game, just hovering behind him, maybe giving the tiniest amounts of information taps here and there, just stressing him out and just trying to get in his head so that way he can find a way past, because it's all a mental game here.
A mental game it is. Speaking of mental games, Nick and Todd, it might be in their best interest to work together to try to overcome Chem, who's holding them up. Worth noting, I don't see Sergey today. Sergey's not here today. So instead we get the Chem train. Very rare indeed. We don't normally see a Chem train.
Yeah, yes, indeed, because normally Chem is the one who's pushing up through the field into last race.
Spencer making a move on the lead. Spencer takes the lead into turn 1, getting past David. I don't think David was ready for that, or he just didn't quite have the run. But now it's David's turn to try to get past Spencer. Worth noting that David did not defend that too hard, meaning there is still a gap behind David to Chem, so David is still clear to attack for the lead. He didn't compromise himself too much.
Honestly, I think the biggest concern with how quick Spencer...
Here comes Todd on the inside! Inside of 4, around Chem. To almost take third place, but not quite. Chem manages to hold it through. Chem trying to signal, let's move forward and catch the leaders. Todd's not having it because Todd can sense that Chem is off the pace. I don't have the lap times up today. We couldn't get that set up, but I do have my phone. Take it away while I pull out my phone.
So taking it away, I would think that David's biggest concern here with how quickly Spencer caught up is just seeing if he could hold on to the back of Spencer for as long as he can. Unless he can find the secrets that Spencer's using to have the pace that he has, that's got to be super stressful for David here as he's looking to just hold on to that spot in the podium. And if he is able to be comfortable and stick to the back of him like he's done throughout this entire lap, maybe it is possible, with the help of Slipstream, for David to get past Spencer, and we can have this duel go on all throughout the final. Now, the fight back here. It looks like Todd has possibly been helping Chem a little bit, as I'm not seeing that gap grow, and I think it might be shrinking between third and second place. So Todd, tucked in behind Chem, with Nick following closely behind. Actually, it looks like Chem got the better exit there.
And here comes Nick
Todd
on the inside. Nick is going to try to get past Todd, who's been trying to fight. And now they're just fighting each other. This is somewhat counterproductive for their best interests, but they're getting impatient. We're still in the middle stages of the race. There's still plenty of time. So unfortunately for Nick and Todd, they drop back due to that battle, and this lets Chem get away. Worth noting that all of them had equal pace to the leaders. They're all setting 79.5s. So the more you battle, the more you get slowed down, and we're seeing the consequences of that now. This gives Chem clean air, both in front and behind, to push, which is really bad news for Spencer and David, who are in the lead. David wanting to take the lead, Spencer wanting to get away. It's now a battle of pace in our podium positions, and now it's a battle of catch-up for Todd and Nick. Nick goes around the outside, Todd defends the inside, and nothing comes out of that. So now it's become a pace race. Nick getting really impatient, very aggressive, trying to make Todd crack under pressure, trying to find any semblance of way through. We have a spin in the back. Couldn't quite tell who it is, but it's unfortunate.
It might have been...
Oh, I know who that is. That's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, unknown if that was accidental, unforced, or caused by someone else, but the fight still goes on at the top of the pack.
Really good battle in the middle. As you can see, panning the camera, that's just a side-by-side squabble into turn 6 and 7. Some good racing into bus stop, spearheaded by Randy.
And they're going to have to back out there.
But so far, our battle for 4th rages on. In that battle for 4th is Todd and Nick, followed very closely by... That's a good question. Who is that mystery racer in black? Let's see if I can identify him as they come down the front straight.
Mystery racer in black, following closely behind Nick.
That is Sam, currently hounding both Todd and Nick around the inside. We have a Todd train now. Todd on to the defensive now. Let's see if he can hold him up.
Now it looks like Sam having caught up to the back of Nick and Todd. There's going to be a little bit of a battle there, and Sam is the one with all the momentum. Nick caught holding the bag. Todd also holding the same bag as they dragged each other down with that little bit of a battle. And Sam getting the double overtake, getting the inside for the following corner. And Nick taking advantage of that and getting past Sam. Now it's 3 wide with Todd on the inside. But Todd's going to get nipped in front of, and he's going to lose 3 positions as Nick moves up 1 and Sam moves up 2.
Tragedy
and Todd still stuck in the middle of that train, still desperately trying to recover the momentum sorely lost in that exchange. And pushed out to the outside.
Todd was, I think Todd might have gotten pushed outside there. But frustration for Todd. I don't think Todd did anything wrong there. He was a victim of circumstance. Nick had gotten somehow a little squibbly into turn 3, and that set off a chain reaction to let Sam get the 2-for-1 special. Sam on the inside, getting past Nick, and then fighting Todd into turn 4. Todd then found himself in a very bad track position in turn 4, and that just made him tumble down the order. And Sam, ultimately the winner of all this, getting a 2-for-1 deal. And Nick not gaining or losing any positions. And unfortunately, Todd, I couldn't tell what happened behind there.
It looked like Todd just got stuck in the train in a bad spot. He was stuck on the outside, tried to get back in, but there was no room for him. And with enough contact and frustration, he lost control of the cart and is tumbled outside of the track as well as the positions he was holding.
In the mix is another racer. I believe that is Mukita, who is not wearing his really cool black and green race suit. He told me he's not wearing it because it is too hot to wear it. Fair and understandable. It's a nice warm summer day. It is the end of May.
The very end.
The final day of May.
The final day of May, as we reach the end of this 5th month, we see 5 racers in their train, battling it out, trying to get that coveted spot just before the podium of 4th place.
An update on our podium positions. The top 3 have not changed. It is still Spencer, followed very closely by David, followed not so closely by Chem. All 3 of them have relatively equal pace. However, in this train that we're following now, we got Sam, Nick, Mukil, Randy, and who's that behind Randy? Did I get the order mixed up? Let me check that. That's William.
William Yee, our current championship leader.
Actually, I take that back. It's William Yee who is behind Nick, and that's Mukil who is behind Randy. So the actual order is, as I get my names mixed up once more,
Sam, Nick, William, Randy, and Lukil.
Thank you. That is the order.
This is quite the fun train that we got going on, and we have another one just as entertaining in the back. I see Manny in the middle there.
Oh yeah, this
Scott
back train.
leading it.
That is Scott and Manny. And the other William Frazier.
But it looks like this train's about to get bumped up.
Oh,
as we
things
see
have
2
exploded
different
up
lines.
front.
I see 2 by 2 going into the turn 1. We'll see if the outside line's better or not. They're going to try to slot back into their train before they lose their spot in that train. It was very risky to pull out like that, but they're able to secure their slots just in, as even though they had the better momentum, they weren't able to pull up alongside enough for that turn, for that geography, for that trigonometry to get that overtake.
I think what's happening today, everybody noticed that Sergey is not here, so everybody wants to be a piece of the train. However, 3 wide in the turn 4! Whoa!
Oh, clambering right over that, and I think that is Nick.
They all emerge in the same order. Just kidding. That is the order now. It goes Sam, Nick, Mukil, Randy. I think. No, I got that mixed up.
And more people join the train as well, and
Oh, boy.
it's actually kind of splitting apart here with Randy in the middle.
It's so tricky because 3 of them are wearing maroon-colored shirts. Normally, maroon is a very identifiable color, unless everyone's wearing it. I will get a better view of them as they come down the front straight. We do know that Sam is spearheading this.
And it looks like Spencer in the lead with Davidson, having learned the track, is able to pull up alongside Spencer and force David into a defensive move. As this duel still goes on, Spencer, having led the race throughout this entire time, this has given David ample time to learn the pace that Spencer's setting and potentially look for any weaknesses to get an overtake in. But these guys have always been around the top. Spencer and David always racing near the top, whether it's near the podium, just outside of it, or at the top as we're seeing here.
I think David realized the time is now to strike, and he's definitely on the offensive now. There is such a gap behind to Chem, who's in third, that David, currently in second, is now going to attack Spencer, currently leading the race. They are bumper to bumper, and they're giving it all. By the way, an update on positions 4 and that position train there. That is going to be Sam, Nick, William, Randy, and Mukil. That is the order. I've confirmed it.
Yeah, and it looks like William. So yeah, they're just all in the same spots, aren't they? After all that settled.
They're definitely sniffing each other out. That group of 5 is one to look at. However, as our leaders come down the front straight, it doesn't look like David's within striking distance. I don't think he's going to attack this time. And our group of 5 also coming down the front straight, keeping it pretty clean. They are tucked behind each other as we see Mukil making a move on Randy, and he snipes it away from Randy. Mukil moving up forward one. However, can Randy hang it around the outside to get it back? Doesn't seem like it. So unfortunately, Randy stuck trying to get back what he lost, but Mukil's not having it. Mukil, really good defensive positioning to tightly guard against Randy, who is now stuck behind him.
Yeah, Randy,
really opportunistic. Good job, Mukil.
Randy was able to pull up along the outside of him, but it looks like that Mukil's just able to pull away in that back straight, and Randy isn't able to get anything back after that sequence of corners.
This race is really heating up. We got a battle of 3 right behind. Going into turn 3, that is, looks like Thomas, Kirk, and one other racer I can't ID. That's Linus, actually. So, Thomas, Kirk, and Linus in that order. Well, they emerged from that order from bus stop, but they were definitely too wide going through turns 6 and 7. So things got pretty dicey back there.
But they all still remain on the track, and all the battles still remain happening. We're still in a learning stage. We're not in the pressure of the final lap just yet. But David...
We are on the final lap.
Oh. Well, now we have entered the final lap, so the pressure is applied. This is the point to make it, and that 5 train split into 2 by 3. 1 by 2 by 3. A little pyramid scheme going on there. As we see Randy stuck on the outside of Mukil, William right in the middle of that, Nick following very close behind Sam, who still has that...
Our leaders are coming down into turn 4. David really wants to make the move, but he gets blocked off by Spencer. Spencer closes the door, and David couldn't make that move. Turning back now into turn 4... we still see Sam, Nick, William, Randy, and Mukil. Randy got by Mukil. And behind them, oh man, things are really exploding behind them. Kirk on the inside of Thomas.
But Thomas will have the inside for the next corner, and will hold that position unless unless Kirk can find another burst of speed through there. It'll be through top of the world, which is a very smooth set of corners. Not really a place he can dive onto the inside. Throughout these next corners, it'll all be about the drag race to the line. To the line.
And here they come now.
Flag.
Spencer, followed very closely by David. Can David get a better exit? It's going to be close. David trying to get that momentum. He's pulling forward. It's a photo finish, but I think Spencer takes the lead. Well,
now
keeps the lead.
Now the group of 5 all going to fly across the line, all side by side. They're going to be finishing all super close within each other. But in the end, I believe the positions remain the same. And this will all be confirmed at the podium when we'll have the championship points laid out. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll have a semi-final race and then the final race of the spring season as we go into summer.
Jim decided that he had more important things to do, so he took off. So in second place with the 78.954, David Ostisvili. And in first place with a 79.073, Spencer Foot.